All right, hey everyone, this is Julian from the Binary Lab. So just here to make this video, I'm actually gonna post this on my pages right now. See how I post this up. Oh shit. Never mind, I think I'm gonna, hang on, found the sharing button. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna share it on my pages and get back to this bit. So today I'm gonna be talking about like how sometimes you can get disappointed with things that happen, okay? But as a matter of fact, things do happen for a reason, for a very good reason. And maybe you just haven't found out what is it yet. Okay, so today, just give me a couple more moments. I'm gonna continue to share this to various pages. Okay, I wanna share with you that well, yesterday, today, I have a fair amount of incidents that I can think of that would make very good examples as to sometimes okay, like when you look at certain things in the first glance, you think that, damn it, this is like a shit day. What is happening? Um, did you know that yesterday? Actually, I didn't mention this. Even on my personal Facebook timeline, I didn't mention this. But yesterday, I got into a car accident. So basically, it's one of those things that I knew was going to happen sooner or later, but I just didn't expect it like yesterday. So what happened yesterday? I'm going to show you a clip on my phone in a moment. Would you like to see that? So I was turning into a lane, and the road there was clear. Okay, motorcycle saw me turning from like 200 meters away, but he insisted on coming straight. I mean, like, so typically, if we give that amount of space, we can make the turn. And if you guys drive, you probably know. If you're turning out or something, like, you see the amount is that far away. So question is, why did he increase his speed? Um, you know, and then he started turning. So I thought, okay, maybe he's going the same way. All right. Before I knew it, motorcycle hit into the side of the car, and the guy like flew over the front. His helmet just like smashed my windscreen. Um, so I'm gonna show you that incident. Okay, it's so stupid. Okay, let's just have a look. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Okay, so you got to see that again. You got to see where the motorcycle is. Watch out for the guy. Okay, hang on. So okay, I'm gonna put it at the beginning. I'll tell you what to look out for. Okay, so watch out for the motorcyclist. See. What the heck? Why did he speed up? Right? Why did he speed up? I don't get it. um, so like, shitty incident. Okay, but that made me realize the importance of getting car insurance. Okay, because it could be a lot worse. What if someone loses a life? Okay, like, by the fact of, like, in most countries, whoever gets hit is defined as a victim, and whoever hits is the culprit. And in this case, I've got video evidence. This one's kind of like flipped, so I mean, it's flipped due to the camera. But things could be a lot worse. So I used to think that I could just get, like, car insurance hardly covers for most of the things. I pay in the past. I used to pay through my nose for car insurance. Um, for, like, whether it was like I remember for my previous car, the Volvo, I paid a lot for premium insurance with AXA, and it's supposed to cover like tire punctures and battery. But when I read the terms and conditions, only in the event of an accident. So it doesn't really make a difference if I didn't insure the battery and stuff as well. So I mean, for wear and tear, it's not covered. So I was like, screw this. In future, how about if I just find a good car workshop that doesn't overcharge me? I'll just pay for my repairs a la carte, and I probably save money compared to an insurance policy. But then again, um, this incident taught me that. I mean, I was thinking for the whole of yesterday, why did this have to happen? All right, this happened because it had to. Like, I had to learn that things happen. We can control ourselves. We can do everything to protect ourselves, to be responsible, to take every caution. All right, looking out for motorcycles and stuff. We can take every caution. but things will still happen. Okay, and this is not just about life; it's about trading and everything. Like we can take every caution, but like there's still going to be things that can happen, and when they do, okay, we want to ask ourselves, what does it mean? The other incident I want to share with you is that like last night I slept super early. I slept like at 10. Usually sleep at like midnight or 1. Okay, but I was super exhausted because yesterday, if you saw my personal Facebook profile, I went for this charity run at my kid's school, and like that got me drained for the whole day. Okay, so I slept early at 10, and I dozed off with the lights on, and then I woke up at 5 to turn off the lights, and then when I went back to sleep, I felt this very acrid taste in my mouth. It was basically from uh, the food remnants that I didn't brush off the night before. Okay, so any of you experienced that? Let's say if you go out partying, or you have a sleepover, you didn't bring a toothbrush for whatever reason, you thought you could get away with it, but a couple hours later, if you wake up to the toilet and you find that, oh gosh, what is that? What is that sickening feeling in your mouth? Either it's the odor, or it's like the kind of like that fermented food taste in your mouth. It's like, shit, I've got to get it out of my teeth, kind of thing. So after that, I was awake. And after I was awake, I decided, like, heck, since I'm already awake, let's just do a couple of things. All right, just kind of flipped open my MT4, because you guys know I manage some like well, the motorcycle, the irresponsible motorcyclist was hurt. Okay, but I mean, me and the kids were fine. Um, so when I woke up this morning, I checked my MT4. I was like, I saw like the second part of the account, of the master account from FXTM Fire Boss V2. It was like 422, right? So I was like, shit, did it make $400 overnight? I was like, no. In fact, certain positions, and it was being closed because of like the amount of margin, especially I have like certain cutoff points. Like I mentioned in my EA, I have certain cutoff points to protect it from losing your account. Okay, one of the things that a lot of people tend to experience as retail traders trading forex is that you don't keep enough uh, attention on your available margin. And this can be very dangerous because for those of you who trade with a lot of leverage, sometimes all it takes is a movement that does not wipe out your balance, but clears out your margin, and then positions can start getting let go, and then the damage can be expensive. Okay, so I saw the signs, and then I started to realize that, like, heck, my margin is actually it's like dangerously low. It is lower than I ever wanted to be, although the floating loss was within an acceptable range. But why the heck was the margin percent at that level? So waking up early in that case was like a blessing, because like, okay, I better take some evasive action right now. I better hedge this, better close that trade, free up some margin. Okay, actually in my case it was not about hedging. It was like closing positions that I could close, like positions that were profiting, and like, or like positions that were that were recently open, that have not clocked up much of a floating loss yet. Just close that so you can free up margin to then help the account stay profitable. Okay, so um, on that note of forex trading and like account management, a lot of people out there in the industry who manage accounts, they they tend to blame things on, like, oh, I was on holiday, I didn't know. It's like, can you give a more responsible response? I mean, like, another friend of mine, so I have a few friends around me, they're all getting burnt in different account management stuff. And when I say burnt, I mean like losing more than 60% of their account. So one guy told me that, like, okay, I told you before about the story about one guy whose account the money got siphoned out somewhere else, and the trader used a POA to open, a sense account, okay, to fool him that the balance was still there. But he didn't know because it didn't reflect as sense until he found out the hard way when he wanted to withdraw. He found that it's just sense, right? So, and another friend of mine, basically, hooked up with another trader running and also a grid system. And in this case, it did the grid system did okay for a period of time, but it is not. Such systems are not bulletproof, and I know that for a fact. That's why for me in my system, I have different components that make up my Fourier Boss V2, right? And I adjust them regularly. And then for whatever reason, okay, like I saw that New Zealand USD was an Aussie USD. The exposure level was just very high. I was like, shit, I gotta do something about this. Otherwise, the account for other positions are gonna run into margin issues. So, because I'm not gonna be like those other creeps out there, irresponsible creeps out there who just push the blame on like, oh, I wasn't looking. Come on, give a better reason for that, right? Oh, I accidentally knocked something over my career. Oh, I give you a really good irresponsible reason. Okay, so there was once like someone was trying to badmouth a broker, um, and then I went to check what happened with the broker because okay sometimes like sometimes like good brokers sometimes there are brokers in the industry, especially in the binary industry, that they out to scam, but there are also some brokers that operate everything very well. Okay, for example, IQ Option. Let me give a little testimony about them. Okay, IQ Option is one really good broker because when they have a server maintenance, and if you get into any trades, did you notice that if you happen to be in a position where you are not able to click the sell of the trade, and then suddenly the server disconnects, did you know that they just pay out the trade? Sorry. Hmm. Do you know that they actually treat the trade as profitable? This is a really good practice. So there was one incident where and I get reports. I can it's not like they don't tell me unless I ask them. So I was like, this guy was like, I lost. This guy was saying me I lost like 60-70% of my account, um, and then he was like, it disappeared from my account. And I was like, well, that's not possible. How can it disappear from your IP option account? Okay, so someone asked feedback. So it's like, you know what? They pulled up. So he told me one story, but when I asked for it, they showed me the live chat comments. I'm not gonna share who it is. I don't want to embarrass someone. Okay, but um, what happened in reality was that he was telling the live chat, and I read this, that a cat stepped on his keyboard, and he didn't mean to do these trades, and like his keyboard was on tap tap for click, right? So the cat probably tapped on it a couple of times, entered a couple of trades in the 1-2. When he came back, lost a fair bit of money on his account. Come on, man, responsibility. Okay, so coming back. Well, yeah, like the crypto is a bit, it's kind of uh, okay. Speaking of crypto, there were like disappointing incidents. I mean, the general market has been disappointing. A lot of people lost a lot of money, myself as well. It's quite uh, like I had a lot of it, from the green went to the red, um, but at the end of the day, it's more like of trading. So the thing is that when shit happens, what kind of changes can we make to turn the tables on a bad situation? Okay, um, when shit happens, the thing that a lot of people tend to do is to very often, find someone to blame, find something to blame, find some excuse to make up for something. But um, but beyond that, okay, rather than okay, ask yourself something. When the last time you blamed something or someone or some incident or made an excuse for something, how did that really sit with you and your conscience? Okay, Was there any positive effect to your conscience, to your thinking? Did it come back to haunt you some way? Or did you find yourself having to reassure yourself that you didn't make a mistake? To reassure yourself, to believe that the lie, the excuse that you gave to yourself and other people was true. How did that do for you? Was that really good? Well, I believe in karma. Okay, and a very funny incident about karma was that I was just joking about like a tennis, like the Singapore tennis team, Singapore national tennis team, tennis coach. Like I was discussing with a friend, like how sometimes good tennis players may not necessarily make good coaches, and it's surprising how sometimes people, who are not good tennis players or do not even play tennis at all, turn out to be really good tennis coaches. So, we discussed like Nick Bollettieri, Andre Agassi's coach, a military veteran. I mean, what does he know about tennis? Well, he's an armchair critic, but then again, he's an armchair critic that gets results. So I was like, in the past, Singapore tennis team used to hire like top players from other countries, but eventually the guy that brought the most results was someone who walks with a hobble. So I was like demonstrating a hobble to my Thai friend, and a couple of moments later, like 20 minutes later into the tennis session, I had a major cramp that took me a week to get over. Okay, so there is karma. Now, coming back to that earlier incident, what was I talking about again? Damn it! Someone remind me. Before I was talking about the leg cramp, what was I talking about? Someone refresh me. What was that? No, this was just after the part where I was talking about the IQ option incident when the guy told live chat about the cat walking in the keyboard and gave me the story. What was it? I was talking, there is a reason for everything that happened, okay? So I was talking about the guilt that people get when they live with a lie, when they have to live with a lie and deal with a lie, okay? So instead of finding excuses, all right, like for instance, yesterday when the car accident happened, this was in the beginning of the video. I'll show you like how a motorcycle hit my car. Okay, when I was turning, and this guy saw me like 200 meters plus, but still it sped up, and this made like so at that point of time I was thinking, damn it, if I had not decided to make a detour to kind of buy like takeout, that wouldn't have happened. If I didn't go for the charity run, that wouldn't have happened. And then if I took a different route, that wouldn't have happened. But later on, when I decided to realize that, these kind of situations can happen at any time. It's beyond our control. Well, maybe I would have avoided it on that day if I didn't go for the charity run. If I didn't decide to buy a takeout, but it would probably happen sometime else. And if it happens sometime else, what if it happens sometime else and it's a lot more serious than this? So the damage to the car, okay? The fact that this time around was the motorcyclist's fault. But what if there was some other incident where there's a human life was involved? Or what if, there was a lapse of concentration in a future incident that caused more damage than, ever intended for, okay? I always believed in the past that just repairing the car a la carte with a good workshop is a lot more cost effective than insurance, at least in my country. But now I'm having a different idea. And also, with regards to Forex, well, it may suck. You have to take some losses. Okay, Boss V2, the main master account for FXTM, was for yesterday, it actually went over 10% profit for the month, double-digit returns, which is like beating most of the people in this whole area, okay, for this month because there's so much happening in markets. But you know what? My my FX Premiums account is doing great this month. Okay, so actually, the FX Premiums account was actually a little bit slower, but now has surpassed due to all these incidents. I have to control position sizes and margin, all that. But but like without these losses being taken, okay, that had to be taken due to, and adjust to free on the margin. What if I realized this later on in a situation that was far more serious than right now. Okay, so some things that we experience in life, they suck. Indeed, they suck. But if we cannot learn the lesson of why it happened, then it's really no point. If we can see the lesson, okay, and reflect. I urge you to reflect on every single bad thing that happens in your life. What was the lesson to be learned from it? Keep reflecting until you find a lesson from that bad incident in your life. Could be in trading. Sometimes you made a dumb trade or something like that. Until you reflect and find the reason, okay? I mean, it may take you some time, but when you do, you'll feel liberation and you'll feel good about it. And it can instantly change the mood. There's no point in trying to make excuses, all right? Firstly, accept the responsibility, accept, the fact that, yeah, on my watch, something happened. But beyond that, when you learn the reason, you know, sometimes it's no longer a setback, the only lessons that you get. And these lessons will bulletproof you for future incidents to come. That's what I have to share for you today.